Hey guys, welcome back. It is time for another episode of, I can't even remember what the title was for the last one. Something to do with, will Reddit give you good advice on Pokemon card questions? And we got a few pretty good ones here. It seems there were some decent answers, but we're gonna cover them here regardless. So you do have to usually search through pretty hard in order to find the solid advice. So the person asking this stuff, the newbies, if you will, they may or may not take the proper advice from the comment section. So the first one here is, I'm not crazy, right? Asking to see more of a card this pricey isn't too much to ask. And they have a PSA 10 Rayquaza VMAX alt art from Evolving Skies. Pretty cool card. I don't know if I'd necessarily be buying it at this point in time, where we've seen some more Evolving Skies come out. I wouldn't be surprised to see more of that in like mixed products and such. So if it's something that you really want though, and you're not going to be upset if the price drops, by all means, it's your money. But yeah, asking for more photos. This is like a touchy topic because there's a lot of sellers that don't want to spend time taking more photos. When it's over a certain dollar amount, you would think that it would be sort of, easy to explain or easy to justify taking that extra time. But it's that's what it comes down to. If they don't want to provide more photos, you have to be a little bit cautious. Well, first of all, anyone can use anyone else's photos. So depending on where you're purchasing, what platform you're purchasing on, how you're making the purchase, as I tell everyone, always, every time, pay with a method that you can get a refund if they try to scam you. So whether that's through eBay, we've had a whole set of issues with eBay recently with their new 3-day return system, which is ridiculous because someone might not get their mail right away and then they end up with the wrong card. But yeah, anyway, PayPal, eBay, whatever you got to do. If it's a large dollar amount, be extra careful that you receive it and it's the card that you asked for, that it's in the condition you asked for, that it isn't fake or whatever. But yeah. So there's some covered here. It took a very long time before people came up with the proper advice. I mean, the first thing you had to be cautious of with, you should at least expect a front and back picture. If you don't have that, they could be hiding something, or they might not own the card. So I think at the very least, a nice clean photo, front and back, or scan front and back is the least you should expect. And in this case, where the seller came back and was a little bit rude and didn't want to take more photos and said, what does that benefit me to send you more photos? You're going to get tire kickers as a seller. People that sell on eBay or sell anywhere else, you got to realize when you're in sales, you're going to have to deal with crappy customers. You're going to have to deal with crappy sellers. So the response when asked for more pictures was, the pick is top down already. It's a PSA 10, so not sure what is to be gained here. Yeah, the person wants to see another. It's $450. There's $450 to be gained. So even if it's a hassle, I mean, the listing should already have a photo of the back or a couple photos, at least so you can clearly see the card, not just a front photo. Yes, it's a PSA 10. So it took a very long time in the conversation here for people to suggest that you can just look up the PSA cert. So the cert number is not covered. If the cert number is covered, that's a red flag. I mean, some people do it just because they don't understand. But if we go type in 649-00235 into the PSA cert checker, we can see here. And, even though it's a 10, there's different degrees of 10. There's missed grades. There's strong 10s, weak 10s. Someone might just want to see the card itself when you're spending that much money on it. If it's a lot of money, it's certainly a lot of money for some people, $450 for a single Pokemon trading card. they probably want to see the back side of it. So you can see it's a little bit top heavy here. Down the right side, we got a little bit of like a whitening kind of going on. So is it a weak 10? Is that something that's going to bother the buyer? Maybe. Is that why they're not providing additional photos? Also maybe. But where it's a newer card, you can go to the PSA database and take a look at that. And it was very far down the list here before we actually saw that suggested. But there were people that also suggested the fact that if they're not providing additional pictures, they might not own the card. And I think that's pretty valid too. So keep those things in mind. It's not that much work. Take the extra photos when you make your listings. It especially if you're doing it with a camera, it takes all of 2 seconds to take a few photos. For something that's $450, I think it's well worth it. Or even if you don't want to take any photos, just take the ones off the PSA site, I guess, and use those. But yeah. All right, next. We have someone who says, my only good pull from a Fusion Strike ETB. What do y'all think? So people have this like weird expectation that you're going to get a lot of stuff in these smaller products, and you're just not going to necessarily. I mean, you can, but if you're opening something like a Fusion Strike ETB, there's only 8 packs in there, guys. You're not guaranteed anything. It's only 8 packs. On average, you're looking at like 1 in 6 packs to get something that is a V or better. So even if you get a single V, that's kind of like on average in 8 packs. You shouldn't really be expecting anything on that, anything additional to that. If you open enough ETBs, they're the same pull rate as every other product, including booster boxes and everything else outside of some weird error. That's it. All packs are equal. Sample size. Law of large numbers. So yes, this in an ETB is extremely good. You shouldn't be expecting even a hyper rare. Not that Sydney is sought after or hyper Sydney. I'm sure it's not very expensive, but that's kind of the price you pay when you're opening a sealed product of any kind. You shouldn't expect the value to come out of it that you paid for the box. There are exceptions, but yeah. Next up, this isn't really a question. This is just someone stating that a Lost Abyss came today and pulled the only card I wanted in the set. Okay, I guess it depends on the scenario here, but if you're looking for cost effectiveness, opening a set to pull one card that is hard to pull, not a good idea. If you were collecting the rest of it and you just only wanted that card, but you're going to keep the rest of it, sure. If you don't care that you're going to spend a lot of money and not necessarily get this one card, sure. But in terms of cost effectiveness, if this is the only card that you actually want and the rest of it you're either going to have to like toss or whatever, or it's just going to sit in a box, you don't really want it, you don't really care, just buy the single. Even the graded single would probably save you money on opening product until you pull this one card. I mean, you could get lucky, but at the same time, in terms of anyone that's looking to save money, this is not the way to do it. This is the opposite of what you should be doing. All right, and then last but not least here, I see this all the time. We have somebody that says seeking advice, and then I guess they made a follow-up post to ask the actual question or explain what their advice was. We'll take a look at the photos here. So we got some modern cards. Some pretty cool stuff. I don't know exactly why the Flareon VMAX is there without the Flareon V, since they came in the same promo box. Palkia is pretty sweet. We get the Lele from Celebrations. So, decent selection of cards. They say, hey friends, first time posting here. Just got back into card collecting. Found on Facebook Marketplace. $100 all in or individually priced. Near mint to mint. Does this seem legit? Never made a purchase like this on Marketplace before. Any advice greatly welcome. So, yeah, it looks legit. Definitely want to familiarize yourself with what real cards look like, what the fake cards look like. I have videos on that, but I also, more importantly, have a video on how to price the cards out. If you're unsure, if something looks off, look it up. Like Google search it. You'll find pictures of the real card. If the texture looks off, if the colors look off, if the borders look off, check the backs. Always check your P-hole. Get your jeweler's loop if you need to. Typically fakes, especially the modern ones, the ones that are like printed in China or whatever, you're going to be able to tell they're fake without even needing magnification. So, yeah, just this is a whole lot of get comfortable with what you're looking at. And if you need to, bring a card with you and compare the backs. 99% of the time, if the back is matching a regular back, the color is the same, if the print quality is the same, it's a real Pokemon card. That's the beautiful thing about English cards. The back has never changed. So use that as a reference. Why not, right? All right, guys. Thanks for tuning in. Join the Discord. See you next time. Hope this helps someone. I know that a lot of people already know this stuff, but I think it's good. Good little refreshers. Maybe some advice that you can pass along to friends, family, whoever is new to Pokemon and Pokemon cards, and help them out. All right, guys. See ya.